We are live. Welcome to the Fight Bananas show. Live with me, I got Mairon Santos, who is fighting this Saturday at the UFC pay-per-view card coming right up. My man, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. And yeah, let's go.
Awesome, man. So before we get too much into the fight game, I want to talk a little bit about a very big moment in your life, right? You had the birth of your child, right? It was your first child, is that correct?
Yes, first
Awesome.
child. And
And how's that experience been for you for that first month or so? And also training whilst having that firstborn. How's that been?
man, it's been amazing. I have a very supportive wife, and she's making everything so much easier. I thought it would be harder because fight camp and all this stuff, but she's making everything much easier. I'm not sleeping with them. I wanted to, but she kicked me out of the room. She said, "No, go have a rest." And she's amazing. And my son, he's amazing too. He's not. I mean, he's a newborn, but from people that we know, he's very quiet. So it's been amazing. I don't have words to describe it because it's in a perfect moment.
Absolutely. I mean, it can't be anything as long as, the baby and mom is fine. That's always good to hear. And, being that she's still fresh, not too long after having a kid and still as supportive as she is super strong for that. So, how has or what has been the shift in your mindset or what has changed since the birth of your son, or added motivation moving forward?
Man, I think since we find out, everything changed. But now, like sometimes I'm training and I'm tired, and I think that's for him, and it's just an extra motivation, and for him, for my family general. So I think it's an extra motivation, like to keep going, keep pushing hard, and try to be the best.
Absolutely. What would be, because he is still a little young, what would be the legacy you would want to leave behind for him to see when he is a little older to understand what's going on?
I think I want people to look at him and like remember that his dad like worked hard for everything, and he's come from a great family, great mom, great dad, and I think that's it. I don't want him like to be too much about me. I want him to have his own history, but I want people to remember that I did everything that I could to give him a good life.
Absolutely. And one of those things, not too long ago was winning the Ultimate Fighter, right? And getting that beautiful left hook knockout win on that card. How has your life changed since that moment as well and winning that series?
Man, everything changed. My dream was always to be in the UFC, and when I landed that shot, like it was like, yeah, I realized my dream. One of my dreams, because I still have a lot of dreams, but that moment everything changed, and I had to find like more motivation to keep going because my dream was to be in the UFC. Now I'm in the UFC, so now what? So I think a lot of things changed, but there's still a lot more to change because now I have another goals, like other things that I want to do. But like everything changed, but there's still more to change.
Absolutely. So elaborate. What are some of those, goals that you still would love to achieve?
Man, that it's no secret I want to be UFC champion, but first, I have some things that I want to do in my personal life. My mom's here visiting. I want to bring her to live here like permanently, and I also want to buy a house for her. I want to buy a house for myself, and yeah, I just want to keep. I just want to like keep providing a good life for my family, my mom, my wife, my son. Like that's not just about like the UFC now. It's about like everything that the UFC can bring it to me, so I can give it to them. So that these are a couple stuff that I want to do, but the ultimate goal in my personal life is to be UFC champion. So yeah, that's it.
Absolutely, man. You can definitely tell you're a family man off of your Instagram. You posted your mom when December when you brought her out here as well. So she's gonna be watching you fight on your first pay per view card as well this
Yes,
weekend. Does
yeah,
that add
yes,
any
man.
extra pressure?
No, no. Since I was young, when I started competing, when I was 14, she would always go and watch it, and I think I'm used to that. I'm also very calm, so I don't like leave anything like take out my focus and things like that. But she's gonna be there. She's gonna be at the arena. I'm excited for her. But in the moment of the fight, it will be about me and my opponent. But yeah, it's gonna be a good experience to have her after the fight.
Absolutely. And like you said, when the doors close and you're inside that cage, it's you and your opponent for up to 15 minutes. But for the lead up to a pay-per-view card like this, how has that been different from maybe a normal fight week for yourself?
Man, to be honest, I don't feel a lot of difference. Like I said, I'm very calm. I'm just more excited to fight in a big cage, have a lot of room to move. Um, I don't think a lot about the crowd, but I will try to enjoy the experience the best as I can. I'm like my dream is like to fight with the Brazilian crowd. So if that happen one day, maybe it will change a little bit for me. But for now, for me, it's just business in the cage. I don't think too much about the outside. So I'm gonna go there, enjoy the big cage, and have fun. Maybe after the fight, I'll start. I will like stop, look, and think. Oh my God, I'm fighting this arena, and maybe after the fight. But for now, just the fights that is the only thing that matters for me.
Absolutely. If you do get to fight in Brazil, are you going to pull a Jose Aldo and go and celebrate with the fans as well? Or what does your celebration look like after a win over in Brazil?
I don't think I would do that. Uh, I don't. I don't like to very crowded places, so I don't think I want to be in the middle of the crowd, like with everybody trying to hug me, pushing me, and pulling me. But I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna hop on the fence, on the cage, and like just celebrate with everybody, but
Absolutely.
far.
Right, right. Keep your space. You can celebrate
Yeah,
and cheer
yeah.
from far. But this Saturday, your opponent, right? You're talking about that extra space in the cage. Your opponent is, very good on the grappling aspect, right? And you're someone very tight boxing, but also even with that tight boxing, you have great takedown defense. You're able to get those underhooks, circle out of the way. What were your thoughts on your opponent going into this into this fight, and just like what does he bring with what you're looking out for?
My thoughts on my opponent that he's a well-rounded fighter. He has few fights than me on the record, but he has more experience in the UFC than I do. But to be honest, he's gonna be the fourth wrestler in a row that I'm facing. So it's not a surprise for me what he's gonna try to do. And if he wants to strike, I think it's gonna be a bad night for him because I'm a very good striker. But if the fight ended up on the grappling, I'm gonna be okay with that because if I have a good takedown defense, that means that I know how to grapple. But I just don't want to use it. I think that's not very exciting, and striking is what I do the best. So I'm ready for everything. He's a very tough guy, durable. He has a grind style, but I'm ready. I'm ready, like for everything that he's gonna bring to the table. I will be ready.
Absolutely. Now, this is always the hard one to ask, right? Because you never know what the opponent is going to bring. But if you have been visualizing a victory on Saturday, how does that victory come about?
I visualize this victory by knockout. I don't see a round, but if I have to say a round, I would say second round.
Gotcha. Second round knockout or TKO by Mairon Santos calling it here first. Now, did want to talk to you about some other things I saw as well on your Instagram outside of your fighting life. You're an anime fan, right? I saw you with you had the Akatsuki fighting shorts on, you had the Demon Slayer shirt on. So, always one of my favorite questions to ask. What's your top three favorite anime?
My top three, I would say Naruto, and second, Attack on Titan, and I think third, man, I'm gonna put three animes on third place. So it's gonna be Dragon Ball, it's gonna be Demon Slayer, and also Death Note.
That's
I said five, but it's hard. It's hard.
it
But
is hard.
I wouldn't say that I the biggest fan because some of the new stuff I don't know too much. But when I like a anime, like I really like it, and I watch and I rewatch. I read the manga, everything. So yeah, that's my five in my top three.
Hey, honestly, I'm not gonna even lie. That's the same exact numbering for mine too. So my number one, Naruto as well. I was watching it earlier today. Number two, Attack on Titan. Beautiful story as well. Read that one till the end. For three, I do put Death Note as my locked in number three, but also, I mean, Demon Slayer I read to the end as well. And then Dragon Ball, that was the first one I watched growing up. So,
Yeah,
RIP
me
Akira
too.
Toriyama. Have you watched any of Dragon Ball Daima? Any of the new one with that?
No, no. Right now, man, busy life. I don't have a lot of time to do that, but I will. I will. I'm trying to not like see too much spoilers. Soon I will, and we'll talk about it.
Absolutely. We'll get back onto that after. So you got a little bit of training here coming up soon here in a little bit. What are some of the things that you like to sharpen up fight week? Because obviously you're not learning new skills, but what do you like to really sharpen up the fight week leading up into that fight?
Um, I just like to go over everything that I've done in the camp, and also like do some cardio, like to help with the weight. But like for example, today I did 10 rounds, 5 rounds pad and 5 round more grappling, like things like that can happen in the fight. So basically, my week's gonna be that, like striking, like little bit striking, grappling, and cardio. I'm gonna do that all week and be ready.
Be ready for it. UFC 313, Mairon Santos getting it done here tonight. Appreciate your time, my man. Final thoughts, message to your fans, your family before we close out here today, my man.
Just wanna thank the support of everybody that's cheering for me. And my fight's gonna be the third, so don't miss it. It's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna steal the show 100%. So make sure you tune in and let's go.
Let's go, Myron, my man. I appreciate your time. Good luck this Saturday. And if you're not watching like already, UFC 313 goes down this Saturday. Third fight of the night, my man, Mairon Santos, gonna get that second round knockout victory by his prediction. And we'll get him on the show after too, right? You'll hop back on when we do that post-fight show to
Yeah,
come celebrate with us a little bit after you enjoy that family time first, of course. But
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
your time, my man. And we'll see you perform out this Saturday.
All right, thanks, brother. Appreciate